Hi, this is Dave Isaacs coming to you from my office on Music Row here in Nashville. And I want to talk to you today about using different instruments in your writing process as a creative tool and as a way to bring you into places that you might not ordinarily go. I have here with me today an electric 12-string guitar. Happens to be a Dan Electro. And this is an instrument that was very much in fashion in the 60s. It was a big part of the music of the Beatles. It was a big part of the music of the Byrds. You heard it into the 70s in the music of Led Zeppelin and Yes and lots of different rock groups. But my point is not so much that we want to start making retro music and music that sounds like all of those bands, who of course made some really iconic music that still you hear to this day, but that this is a different instrument than I usually write on. I usually write on my regular 6-string acoustic, and obviously a 6-string acoustic is going to have a very different feeling physically than a 12-string electric. If you're not familiar with 12-string guitars, they have 12 strings because each of the 6 strings is actually doubled. So you're hearing the low note that you would ordinarily hear, and simultaneously a high note which is an octave above that. And so as I go across what would be 6 strings on a regular guitar, you're getting 2 notes where ordinarily you would have 1. Now all of those, you've got a lower pitch and a higher pitch. And then we have a pair that are just matched, doubled with the same pitch. And this. So it makes for a really, really full, very rich sound. It's very distinctive. Just sounds nice and full when you strum it. It creates a natural chorusing effect, and I don't mean chorus in the sense of like the chorus of a song, but if you've ever used a chorus pedal or a chorus effect on your instrument, chorusing is this sort of swirly effect that makes things sound very dimensional. So it sounds nice and full with those strums, like I said, but it's even more apparent when you start picking arpeggios, meaning playing chords one note at a time. And of course, that really does evoke a 1960s kind of sound, but even that's not the point so much. Maybe the fact that those arpeggio patterns and even single note lines are so gratifying because of that rich doubled sound that maybe it would lead you towards playing or writing with arpeggios, or with single note riffs. The point is really just that the different character of the instrument is going to lead you to play different things, and it's going to lead you musically into new areas. And you don't have to be a great guitarist to make this work. If you've watched some of my videos before or read some of my articles, you know that one thing I'm always saying is that the way we get better is just by paying attention to what we're doing and asking questions about what we could do differently and what we could do better. So even with limited guitar skills, just the fact that switching to a different instrument is going to make you think about what you're doing. Let's face it, this is a very different feeling instrument from my regular 6-string acoustic. So when I pick up this guitar, it's not like I can just jump right in and play like I ordinarily would. Not that I can't switch from one instrument to another, and you can too, but there's a certain amount of adjustment that has to go on. With the 12 in particular, because you're holding two strings at once, you've got to get used to holding the string just so. If you push it too hard, you push it out of tune. And we want to make sure that we get both strings. So the word that I use is when I switch instruments, I have to sort of recalibrate my hands to adjust to that other instrument. And what that's going to do is put your mind inside your fingers, which is the first step to playing better than you do already. As soon as you start thinking about what it is you're doing and how you're doing it, the door opens to being able to do something different and something new. And that's really the main point. Now, of course, that's not to say, well, you have to go out and have a collection of different guitars or else you can't be a creative songwriter. That's a silly statement. But if you find that you're getting into a rut, or if you find that everything you're writing is sounding the same, then picking up another instrument really can be a nice change and a nice source of inspiration, because you'll hear different sounds, you feel different things. There's a certain element of magic to it. I read an interview one time with Jacob Dylan, and he was talking about how different guitars have different songs in them waiting to be discovered, and it's easy to imagine that different sounds are going to lead you in different directions. So I think he's right about that, and I know I find that myself. There are times when I just get tired of the sound of a particular instrument, or maybe it's just that it doesn't feel gratifying or doesn't feel or sound inspiring anymore. And then as soon as I pick up a different guitar, the different sound and the different feel, because it leads me to new places, leads me to create different things. And if that also helps make you a better guitar player, because it's making you think more about what your hands are doing on the instrument, then that's an additional bonus. This is sort of the opposite of what I've written about in my last few articles, because I've been writing a lot about writing away from the instrument, or at least getting your ideas out without the instrument, and then going to the instrument and finding the accompaniments, the chords, the grooves, the things like that that go with the ideas that you already have in your head. This is coming at it from the other side, but it's also a perfectly legitimate way to write, to pick up an instrument and make sounds on it, and those sounds can evoke emotions and can evoke imagery and can evoke phrases, anything that comes to your mind, and any of those things can become the seed of a song. So, short story is, if you're looking for some new ideas and you're also looking to improve your abilities, try picking up another instrument, and no matter how limited your skills might be, see where it takes you and see if it brings you someplace new. I'll bet you that it will. This is Dave Isaacs, once again coming to you from my office here on Music Row in Nashville. Hope this video has been helpful, and you can find me on the internet at www.nashvilleguitarguru.com or on YouTube at youtube/Nashville Guitar Guru. Thanks for watching.